They have no timeouts remaining.
He causes too many timeouts. That's a technical foul.
They don't have a timeout. They can't do so.
I don't think they had a timeout. Did they have the one left?
They'll be a technical foul.
We're gonna figure it out.
Bang it out.
It will work. We'll make it work. We'll make this podcast great again. All right, there it is. Welcome back. No Timeouts Left. Episode 30.
Hey, we're getting up there.
I made it back just in time.
Yeah, dude. It's an anniversary episode.
Right?
A milestone episode.
Long drive. I didn't think I was going to be here for this one, so
I'm glad you're back, dude.
worked out. Me too, man. I missed it.
We were going off the rails a little bit.
Going off the rails and got your voices lowered a little bit, it sounded like. We apologize for that. That was just...
That's what happens when me and TJ do a podcast.
Yeah, well, when I get the audio files, I don't know what happens, but something happened, and I could not fix it. I did my best.
Hey, it was a valiant effort. We gave it a college try.
Yeah.
Next time we'll do better.
Yeah, and could mean some other future opportunities. Maybe another show.
Hey, illusion.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that soon. No Timeouts Left, episode 30, year 2020 coming up around the bend, and we've got some big ideas heading into that.
Yes, sir.
But
I got some New Year's resolutions.
we all do. Mine will probably change by the time that even comes around.
Oh, for sure.
But you have Coach Klein here, yours truly, along with...
Sorry, I got a little excited there. I miss you, dude.
Miss you too, man.
It's Money Mike Phillips.
Money Mike Phillips.
What's good?
Coach Klein. And we might have some other voices hopping in over the next few weeks.
I'm
so
excited.
Look out for that too.
I'm all for it. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah. We've got a lot to talk about. Welcome to the show. There's a lot going on in a bunch of different sports, so we're going to kind of condense things starting this week.
We're going to do our best.
We're going to do our best to break it down, but break down the important stuff, especially in terms of football. The NFL, we're going to keep short and sweet and talk about the top stories, top games, what stood out to us, rather than talk about every single game.
Always so much going on in the NFL.
It's a lot, especially this week. There's been a lot of moves by the Patriots. We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of moves, one thing we're definitely going to have to talk about. Conor McGregor's coming back.
He's coming back. He called out Gaethje and my boy Cowboy Cerrone. So I think he's eyeing a comeback for sometime early next year, something like that. I can't remember the exact date he said, but I'm hoping maybe we get a glimpse of him sooner than that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, sometimes when you gain one, you lose one too. Because as you walked in, no lie, the second you walked in, TJ starts calling you because
he wanted to break my heart. Man, Nate Diaz is dropping out of the fight for this Saturday, next Saturday, sorry, which really hurts because everybody was looking forward to this.
Yeah.
It was the BMF belt, man. Like, this is the coolest thing that was happening in the UFC for like a while, and you got our hopes so high, and then what do, man? He said there's some kind of complications with the drug test or something like that. He said y'all are all on steroids, not me. On Twitter, of course.
So obviously we're doing something a little different. We're starting the show off with UFC this week.
Yeah.
Because, hey, breaking news right then and there.
Just break my heart.
Nate Diaz just walking out.
Yeah. Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, well.
Now some other BMF is going to have to step up and fight Masvidal.
Yeah.
Me and TJ got kind of excited saying Conor should do it, but I don't think you'd throw Conor to the wolves like that. Like, he has had his
Who knows if he's
downs.
even ready?
No, there's no way he's ready. I mean, Nate Diaz, I thought the same about him for a second. I had my doubts, but he came back and killed it, and I was looking forward to this fight. I'm upset.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. As soon as I read that and you were walking in, I was just like, am I reading this right?
I hate when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these MMA fighters got this like diva kind of thing going on, where it's just like if they don't get their way, they're like, no, I'm done.
It's not just MMA fighters. You got it in everything.
Every kind of
look at
sport.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Go back to college or something, I guess. I don't know.
Well, why don't we break down some fight night?
All right. I'll be happy to do this one. First up, Charles Rosa comes out of nowhere and takes down submission artist Manny Bermudez. God, it is so hard to be fluent with these names, I swear.
Right.
And then it was in 2 minutes and 46 seconds of the first round with a armbar.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. The solid fight, solid ground game. There was a lot of takedowns, a lot of submission attempts in this fight. It was crazy, but Charles Rosa got it in the end.
And that was round one?
Yeah, round one.
Wow.
I gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Rosa's a veteran. He's a killer.
Yeah.
But moving on, we'll go to Macy Barber, advances to 8-0 with a TKO win over Jillian Robertson 3 minutes and 4 seconds into the first round. Some viewers did think it was an uncalled for early stop, but I mean, it was a standing stop. Like they got this girl off of her. Basically, it was like, okay, you're taking too much damage. Yeah. So I agree with it, and I think Macy Barber called out Paige Van Zandt after the fight. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see anything about that.
Paige actually said something along the lines of, "I'll fight anybody, just not her." I guess she's saying she hasn't earned it yet. I mean, she's 8-0. Not too many fights under her belt, but you never know. I'd like to see the fight because that girl was dominating.
Right.
Joe Lazone dominates in his hometown Boston with a huge KO over Jonathan Pierce only 1 minute and 33 seconds into the first round. He came out swinging. He got the job done. I'm proud of this man. He's also one of those veteran guys that just kind of been hanging around. I think he said something like this might be his last fight. It might not. So look forward to seeing him in the future, hopefully. Yeah. And then we have one of the most controversial fighters in the UFC, Greg Hardy, got the unanimous decision win over Ben Sassoli, but was seen going into the third using an inhaler, which is illegal. And the next day was ruled a no contest.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
This man used an inhaler between rounds.
Oh, no.
Like, obviously not good.
No.
Like,
no surprise. It's Greg Hardy.
Yeah, and again, some more Greg Hardy news. Dos Santos pulled out of the Moscow main event due to injury. He's got a skin infection of some kind.
Man, that sucks.
The photo was bad. It was really gross.
I did see that. That's not to be messed with.
Hardy decided he can jump right in. So Hardy's going to fight. God, I can't remember who he's fighting.
What's Hardy's overall record? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it's something it's like 5-1 or 6-1, something like that.
With the no contest?
It'd be 5-1-1, I think, with the no contest. I think he moved to 6-1 after that fight.
Gotcha.
Could be wrong. We could be coming back at you with some corrections next week.
We could be.
Yeah. Co-main event of the evening, Yair Rodriguez gets the unanimous decision win over Jeremy Stevens in their second fight after the first was called due to the eye poke. I sent y'all the picture of the dude in the goggles. Yep. That was Stevens at the weigh-in wearing the goggles. That was pretty good. But Yair got the best of him in the first 2 rounds, I believe. Stevens was kind of putting it on him in the third. If this would have been Pride rules, Stevens might have won for overall damage, just giving it to him. But Yair, he did drop him at one point with a nice liver kick. It was pretty sweet. Yeah. Next up, we got Dominic Reyes in the main event. That was a great fight. Comes in and just shuts down Chris Weidman. TKO, minute and 43 into the first.
I saw some clips from that.
That was a great fight. I was watching it. I was watching it on my phone in my girlfriend's bed because I forgot about the fights, basically. So I caught the main event, and I'm sitting here, like, just watching it. My girl's cleaning up around the bed, and I just start screaming. I'm like, get him! She jumps, like, drops the clothes in her hands. Yeah. Like, dang, did he knock him out? I was like, yes! It was so good.
Get hype.
I gotta get hype. I just love these fights, man. I love them. We already mentioned McGregor returning. And let's see, Jose Aldo, however you say it. He's going to make the drop to bantamweight for December bout to where he will debut against former number 1 contender Marlon Moraes. So this was going to be a hell of a fight, and that's going to be a good one. I mean, that's going to be knockdown, drag-out kind of fight, But that pretty much does it for our UFC news. I just wanted to breeze through. We had a lot this week. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Randy Couture actually had a heart attack.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear he's okay.
Today, I believe, and he's in intensive care, but they're saying he will make it. A UFC legend, Hall of Famer, definitely in my book.
Yeah, that caught me off guard when you said that.
Oh,
I had no idea.
Terrible news.
Kind of still out of the loop from vacation.
My heart goes out to his family and friends. I mean, yeah, that's rough to go through, especially.
It's a legend right there. It's good news that he's going to be okay. Hopefully a pretty good recovery, and, just take it easy once you get out of that.
Yeah.
Stay on top of the physical therapy and just...
Yeah. And the man's physically, he's a beast. Yeah. So that obviously tells you it can happen to anybody.
Yeah, it really can.
Take care of yourself, get checked out, you know? And that about does it for our UFC segment. To end on a happier note, shout out to our boys Ian and Jay and the fight community for all the up-to-date news and participation every week. We love you guys. We appreciate the participation always.
We do.
And just, we'll keep... supporting y'all keep supporting us.
Absolutely. And spread the word, tell your friends, tell everybody.
I love it, man. I love just this community of people we've cultivated, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
It's a beautiful thing.
But yeah.
And it's only going to grow from here.
Yes, sir.
So, time to move on to a little bit of baseball.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's time for the World Series. So,
that was my baseball noise.
I might, cut that out and sample it, and, make it one of the transitions. All right, so the ALCS to determine who represented the AL, the Yankees and the Houston Astros. Yankees took the first game in Houston 7-0, dropped the next one, and then New York bounced back, wins Game 5 4-1, and Game 6 down 4-2. Going into the ninth, they hit a 2-run home run to tie up the game, and then Altuve hit a 2-run walk-off to knock them out.
Oh, no.
Houston wins and moves on to the World Series.
Oh, no. TJ, where you at, man?
And I'm so glad you guys read one of my chumps last week. Moving on real quick to the National League Championship Series. I am so happy. I am not a Nationals fan at all, but I am so very happy that the Nationals put the Cardinals manager in his place for the comments he made the week before. The week before after beating the Braves. To think that nobody f***s with you and then say that, well, you better back it up, man.
Yeah.
You better back it up. And you did the total opposite.
I understand what he was kind of going for, just
I get
being
it.
In that atmosphere before. It's
but don't be classless with it.
Yeah, you're trying to motivate your guys, light a fire under them, get that whole "it's us against the world" mentality going on. Mm-hmm. But sometimes that kind of backfires,
Yeah.
And it did big time for you guys.
Nationals swept them.
Woo.
That's it.
The first two games weren't that bad, but those last two.
Oh, the last two were bad.
Jeez.
So. And there's a lot of MLB news. We'll hit real quick. We've got Joe Girardi going to the Phillies. We've had quite a few managerial moves, and we'll cover a little bit more of that.
CJ was upset about that one.
Yeah, he was. And I know why. He's a Yankees fan. I get it.
Yeah.
Astros. Speaking of the Houston Astros, they fire their assistant GM after his comments. Yeah,
that's what happens.
You guys get an automatic champ and chump at the same time. That whole
rare.
situation.
Well, very rare.
They get a champ for realizing where they're wrong and then getting rid of him, but they are chumps for standing behind him after the report came out that he made, I'm so fucking glad we signed, what's his name? Blanking out. But who had been involved, or Roberto Osuna, that's right. And he was so glad that they had them. He just served a 75-game suspension for violating MLB's domestic violence policy.
Dang.
And you say this right in front of a bunch of female supporters. You gotta use your head on that, man. That was a stupid thing to do. But we digress. So he's gone.
That's all I had to say about that.
Right. So we've got Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals in the Washington Nationals' first World Series, mind you.
Nobody picked this.
No.
Nobody.
But the Nationals are not taking anything for granted against the Astros, and they're up 2-0.
Yeah, not looking too bad.
Like, what's up with that?
TJ predicted a 5-game.
Yeah.
5-game.
Well, what really messed me up was last night's game, 12-3. That I did not see them pulling that out against the Astros. Now, I'm not counting the Astros out. I think the Astros have a good chance of coming back, but this could be the Nationals' year, and man, that's got to hurt for Bryce Harper.
Man, they just cruised through the playoffs, though. You know,
Right?
like
They did. Yeah, they pretty much just kept rolling and kept their head down, and hey, they're up 2-0 in their first ever World Series right now.
killing it.
By the way, I'd like to correct myself from a couple of weeks ago. Seattle is not the only team left in the league without a pennant. It's the only team. They're the only team left in the NL without a pennant. Now that the Nationals have one, so that was incorrect. I misspoke. But anyways, so
That's rare as well.
that's not true. I wish. So to think, the Nationals have already gotten this far as we're covering it. But
Are you going with TJ's prediction of the 5 games, or what are you thinking?
I think it's going to come down to 6 or 7.
Yeah?
I don't think it goes 5. I think that's
You think
too early.
they get the fire back over there in Houston?
I think the Astros will kind of bring it back together. So my prediction is that the Nationals win by Game 6, if not 7. What do you think?
I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, being up 2 games, it's hard for a team to come back. Honestly, it's like I just wouldn't want to be in that situation if I was a player, honestly. Like, coming back from 2 games down and trying to win something with so much pressure on your shoulders, like, that's just not going to be fun for anybody.
For sure.
And the stress kind of gets to you eventually. It either makes you or breaks you. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
You're going to be immortalized forever, or you're going to be remembered as getting swept.
Yep. That's pretty much it. But
that was very general knowledge there for you.
hey, spread your knowledge as best you can.
Even if it's thin.
So, a lot of moves going on in the background for the MLB concerning next year. Managers moving around quite a bit. And then you got the World Series going hot with an interesting storyline of the Nationals potentially winning their first World Series. And, hey, man, life in baseball is good.
Yeah. It's always good to see a couple teams that you weren't expecting. Like, I'd like that to happen in the NBA, honestly.
Yeah, I would love that, too. I always love when teams pop up. And that's why I especially love it in college football.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get to that in a bit. We'll talk some college football here in a bit. But for now, that's about all I have for baseball. What about you?
That's as much as I can squeeze out of my brain.
All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll come right back, and we're going to talk a whole lot of football.
I think it's safe to say that all these fans came out here to watch a game of football.
John, we're in commercial.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making conversation.
All right. Time to talk some football. So we're changing it up, as you can tell, with the first half of the show. We're making this show a little more of a conversation format. So we're not going to do so much of breaking down every single game like we mentioned earlier. We're going to talk about top games, what stood out to us.
Break it on down.
So we're going to talk some NFL. We'll talk some college football. We'll hit champs versus chumps, and then we'll head out for the week.
Yes, sir.
So start with the NFL. 5 games to talk about. So we got to start with Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers. The discount double check is back.
Yes, sir.
In their rout against the Raiders, 42-24. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers is back in form. Before we hit Aaron Rodgers' number, let's talk about some positives for the Raiders. It wasn't all bad.
Josh Jacobs been looking good.
Yeah. Why don't you hit me with those stats?
21 carries, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, it's good.
Kid's solid. But why are you running the ball 21 times when you're down that big?
Well, yeah, it's That's Gruden football for you.
Yep. Just keep doing the same thing. It'll work eventually.
Yeah. And Derek Carr looked good on paper. From the highlights I saw, I did not see the game, but he overthrew a lot of his key receivers in key moments, especially down near the red zone.
Not good.
He was just kind of off center, and I think just because they got to a slow start and Aaron Rodgers showed up.
Starting to look like David Carr out there.
Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers, 25 of 31, 429 yards, 5 touchdowns, passing, 1 rushing, 6 total.
Oh.
And he spread the ball very well, throwing a touchdown to a different player every single time.
Jeez.
That to me, that's so much better. I mean, yeah, if you have a guy that can haul in 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Perfect passer rating, too.
Shout out to Marvin Jones for hauling in 4 touchdowns for the Lions.
Killer.
But if you can have a quarterback that can get it to anybody, like a Tom Brady, like an Aaron Rodgers, like a Peyton Manning. Exactly. Drew Brees, Brett Favre. I mean, the list goes on and on, but the list of those who can't also goes on and on.
Oh, yeah.
So the Packers looking like they're getting some momentum back.
That's scary.
6-1.
That is very scary because you know what these Packers can do when they start getting a little momentum behind them.
As long as Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy
and keep his mindset right.
Yep.
Because there's been times where I can obviously tell that
he's
something's
not all
getting
the way
to
in.
him.
Yeah. Yep.
And he starts to like pull back on the reins a little bit, and you're like, "What are you doing? Why are you throwing the ball away every time?"
Right. So, let's move on to a very different quarterback situation in Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
Man, the Colts. Oh no, yeah. Sorry, not the Colts. The Chargers face the Titans.
What happened?
I didn't get to see this game either because I was out of state on vacation, so it wasn't being shown. But from what I gathered, the Chargers kind of lost on dumb luck for the Titans. Well, not dumb luck, but luck regardless. And no, not Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Could this be Ryan Tannehill's revival? I don't know. He looked good.
Could be. I mean, the dude is solid. Like 23 of 29, 312 yards. We weren't getting these kind of games from Mariota, honestly. Right. Like, we were not. Like,
and we should mention Mariota benched that week in favor of Tannehill becoming the starter because it looks like the Titans have lost all confidence in Mariota and they are likely to not re-sign him at the end of this year.
I heard somebody say that they might not re-sign Derrick Henry too, and I was like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, that would be a mistake.
I might keep Derrick Henry for at least a couple more years, maybe get some trade bait out of him if he doesn't pan out.
Right, and you're going to want whoever your new quarterback is to have a little bit of help there in the backfield.
Exactly. And if you have a 6'2", 6'3", 250, 260-pound dude to run the ball.
And catch it.
Give it to him.
Don't forget, Derrick Henry's a versatile back. He can do both.
Oh, yeah. And when he has confidence, like he started to gain in the last bit of last season, we saw what he was really capable of. And that's what it's like. That's when it's like you start to get a little hopeful for the Titans, you know?
Right. Well, he definitely had a solid day and a supporting performance.
Oh, for sure.
22 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown.
Not
definitely
bad.
helped him get the win. But got to say, the Chargers lost after having 2 touchdowns in the final minute reversed on replays.
Ooh.
So they were got by the replay officials.
Yep.
And they failed twice to find the end zone from a 1 yard or from the 1 yard line.
Jeez.
So, the Chargers being the Chargers.
I think consistency is obviously their problem.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, this team has been losing these close games. Like they find a way to lose is what it seems like lately.
Yeah.
Because they're so capable. Look at everybody they have.
Right.
You know, they have a very strong young defense. They have a solid backfield, one of the best quarterbacks, a solid wide receiver, probably top 10, Keenan Allen.
Right.
And, I mean, you look at them on paper and you're like, why have they only won 2 games? You know?
Yeah. That's a good point. So let's stay in the AFC South. Now we'll talk about the Colts.
There we go.
You got the Indianapolis Colts, and they hang on to beat the Texans, the division rival, 30-23, now taking a commanding lead of the AFC South. Jacoby Brissett, the new franchise guy in Indy, in my opinion.
I think he's the real deal.
Yeah.
I think he is.
He went 26 of 39, 326 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
Also spread the ball out. He really is coming into his own. And, you know, it's good to see him kind of save the day after such drastic news of Andrew Luck's retirement earlier this year.
Yeah. And you see the tutelage that Brissett's been under before.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He did get to sit behind
Brady.
Andrew Luck. He did get to sit behind Tom Brady.
Yep.
So, obviously having coaches like Belichick as well definitely helped to set that mindset for him and, like, give him that winning mentality, you know?
Absolutely. So, like I said, he spread the ball out pretty decently. Zach Pascal had 6 receptions for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns, and T.Y. Hilton also had 6 receptions, only for 74 yards, but he got a touchdown as well.
Killing it. Zach Ebron, did you see that catch he had?
Oh, Eric Ebron? Yeah,
Eric Ebron, sorry. I read Zach Pascal, and then I scrolled down to Eric Ebron.
Eric Ebron had an amazing catch. He also had 4 total receptions, 70 total yards, and 1 touchdown. That touchdown catch might be catch of the year. It's
Phenomenal.
up there.
One-hander, like, bringing it into the body and keeping the feet in bounds in the back of the end zone.
Eric Ebron is a great talent, man.
And I will say hell of a throw from Jacoby, because he put that in the perfect spot for Eric to make it, to have a chance, you know?
Absolutely. And it was a good game. Just not much to say about the Texans, even though they only lost by 7 points. They just... I don't know what it is this year. They just can't seem to get in a groove.
I had the Colts and the Texans being my top picks for the AFC South, but as of right now, the Texans aren't showing enough consistency for me, and Jacoby's looking like he might take the lead like out a little bit further before they get a chance.
In terms of the future, I'd say that it's kind of anybody's division right now, not just for this season, but for upcoming seasons.
I'm interested to see what the Titans do with the backfield, the quarterback situation, getting Tannehill some help or bringing somebody new in. That's what I would like to see out of them.
Right.
I'll be very interested in the draft this year. Very interested.
So let's move on to our 4th game to talk about, and I'm going to let you kind of take the reins on this one. Too bad TJ's not here to deal with this.
TJ, what happened, man? All right, I'm really happy about this because the Cowboys just crushed the Eagles. Just crushed them. Star Trio had a day. Dak Prescott went 21 of 27, 239 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, which... overall, his game was very solid. The interception was kind of a garbage play where he was trying to go for the throat in, like, the 4th quarter, I believe. Just like, let's go up 3 touchdowns and end this thing, you know? So, got to give it to him. I think the game ended up being 37-10, which... it might have been 37-14. I should know this because I'm a huge Cowboys fan. And I watched the whole game, but y'all know how it is sometimes. You just
get a little into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm looking at 37-10. All right.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Also going back to TJ's chump last week, Peterson, similar to Mike Schilt, should not open his mouth like that.
No.
Remember how that worked for Rex Ryan?
Not very good ever. We really shut down Carson Wentz. 16 of 26, 191 yards. He also just had a touchdown and interception, but he also had a couple fumbles, a strip sack on one, and then one bounced right off of his chest off a snap.
Yeah, that Cowboys pass rush was
We were getting to him. We were putting a lot of pressure on him. Robert Quinn was doing very well before he went down in like the 2nd or 3rd. And then Van Der Esch didn't come back after he suffered a neck injury. So I was kind of worried then. I think we were only up by like a score or 2 at that point. And I was getting kind of like nail-bitey in that moment.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh no. Yeah. Now Jalen Smith's got to handle it all by himself, basically. But Sean Lee showed up a few times. We got it done overall. Got a fumble recovery off of Goddard. He did score that one lone touchdown for him, which I was a little upset about, but whatever, man. Zeke's back, 22 carries, 111 yards, and a touchdown. Dak even scurried out for 5 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown. And then Tavon Austin with the first touchdown of the game. Did you see that?
I did, and I don't remember.
Hell of a scheme from Kellen Moore on this one.
Kellen Moore's been doing a great job as the
scheme.
offensive coordinator.
I think he faked a counter to the left and then ran what looked like a reverse from Tavon Austin, but Tavon really just ran in towards Dak and then cut back out to the side, and Dak flicked it out to him.
Right.
He made a Orlando Scandrick miss, and then it was off to the races, touchdown, 20 yards away. I couldn't believe this game. I was so hyped the whole time. I wish TJ was here so I could see his face right now. I wish. I texted TJ, and this is a funny thing. You're gonna have to bleep it, but it's funny.
Go for it.
I sent him a GIF of Zeke just eating when we were up like I think 20 something to 7, and he just texted me back and said all it said was, "Dude, we f***ing suck."
Yeah,
That's
sometimes
pretty
that's
much
all you can say.
That's pretty much all he said to me the whole game.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. But
yeah.
That's all I have for it. Sorry, I got a little carried away there, but
that's why I gave it to
game.
you.
It was a big game for me. We needed to get our mojo back.
Yeah, and that you did.
The statistics on if you start the season 4-3 rather than 3-4 are ridiculous. Like I think it's only like 10 to 15% end up making the playoffs if you're 3-4, and it's closer to like 50% if you're 4-3.
Yeah.
So, just some statistics for you.
All right. Well, we'll
Fifth
move.
game of the week.
Our fifth game is Teddy Bridgewater continuing to roll with the Saints. Yet another quarterback situation where he's come in to replace an injured Drew Brees, but do you put him back in? I mean,
I love this guy, but like I said to TJ while you're gone, if you're the dude that you're replacing is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and if that dude's name is Drew Brees, you put Drew Brees back in.
yeah.
You have to.
My answer to that situation would be to keep Brees, put him back in. Hopefully he carries you guys as far as he can, see where that goes. Here's the good thing. If he gets hurt again, you know what you have.
Exactly.
The other thing is he's not going to be around a whole lot longer. You know what you have. Spend the money to keep Teddy Bridgewater after this season.
This is what I think is like the exact opposite of the Eagles situation last year with Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. Like, the younger dude went down.
Yep.
Nick Foles was the veteran coming in and taking over, so they had to ride with Nick Foles, you know?
And he did it well.
I mean, when they won the Super Bowl, they could have put Carson in the playoffs. He was ready.
Yeah.
But you had to go with the hot hand, the veteran. I mean, in that situation, I say go with the veteran.
Yeah.
Or go with the backup, rather.
Right, yeah.
But in this situation, got to go with Brees.
Yep.
Got to.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Teddy Bridgewater, however, threw 281 yards, 23 of 38. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 100.9 QB rating.
Not bad.
Latavius Murray had a day, 27 carries, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Good running for them. And Michael Thomas had a day, nine receptions, 131 yards, but no touchdowns.
Yeah.
The 2 touchdowns were to Taysom Hill, the everything man. The Hills have eyes this week. Josh Hill also bringing in that other.
I did not know he was on the Saints.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Josh Hill? Is that the running back, Josh Hill? Or is that like a wide receiver, Josh Hill? That's a tight end, Josh Hill. I've never heard of this dude. He's in his 7th season. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
don't know him.
I'll learn something today.
Hey, the Hills have eyes, like I said. The Bears, not all bad. They lost 36-25. Trubisky, not too terrible. Unfortunately, had to throw 54 times, but 34 of those were completed. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
And no running game at all for them.
Right.
None.
No, nothing doing on the running game. Not a whole lot on the receiving game either in terms of getting it done.
Man, I saw a meme about Allen Robinson that really made me feel for him because it said something like, this man's had to deal with Blake Bortles and then Mitchell Trubisky. Like,
Yikes.
Somebody say a prayer for this guy.
The one highlight that we do have to mention for the Bears is the possible most perfect camera angle of all time in football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Cordero Patterson taking that kick return back in the sky cam, following him and rotating with him perfectly as he took off to the end zone. I mean, it was just a sweet clip. If you haven't seen it, go look it up.
I'll have to check
Patterson,
that out.
Bears kick return.
Man, I loved Cordero Patterson at the Vols.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude was...
He just, to me, in the
electric.
NFL, he's a return guy.
Yeah.
And that's it. He just can't run routes.
Just use him like Devin Hester.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Dante Hall.
Yeah, exactly. Dante Hall was a killer wide receiver, in my opinion. Dude was pure
later,
speed.
not
speed.
at first.
No.
It took him a minute, and once he got into the groove and actually slowed down a little bit, he actually got pretty good.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
right.
He was a solid veteran.
Yeah.
Because he still had the speed, kind of like Deshaun Jackson, you know?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about, real quick, just some top storylines in the NFL. The Patriots making plenty of moves. Good Lord.
Patriots out here making money moves.
Let's see. They acquired Michael Bennett today.
Well, the Patriots gave away Michael Bennett to the Cowboys.
My bad. Right.
For a 7th round that could become a 6th.
Yeah.
In 2021.
AKA get out.
Yeah. Like, just leave. But the Cowboys would gladly take him, like I was talking about before the podcast started. I think this is a good move for the Cowboys, especially when Randy Gregory is eligible to come back.
Yep.
If he does come back, who knows if he can stop like smoking or something?
Yeah.
He'll be all right. We like to rotate our defensive line. So
yeah, exactly.
Solid.
Yeah. No, he will definitely serve you guys
Cowboys.
well. Just keep his mouth shut somehow.
Yeah. Just don't be a Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
Don't be a Greg Hardy for us, because that's what's gonna make me hate you.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Like, took a chance on him, bad attitude, and just didn't pan out whatsoever.
Well,
he had 1 year with us where he had like 6 sacks or something, I think.
Yeah. Well, some other moves in Patriots news. Josh Gordon is on IR, and when he's off IR, that's it. He's getting cut. It is sad. He should have had an amazing career. Not to say it's over, but
really lost a step after taking like 2 years off. You know?
And he can't stay healthy.
No,
he
not
just can't, and it's a shame. He started his career off so hot, and
that ceiling was high
because he
when
couldn't
first
stop
came in.
smoking a little weed.
Yeah, he had the one season where he was like close to 2,000 yards. I think he had like an 1,800 yard season.
Yeah,
or something
like that. So he's
and that was with the Browns.
Eventually out. Yeah, right. He's eventually out, and coming in is Mohamed Sanu, the third receiver down in Atlanta, now with the Patriots.
He went to sleep with 1 win and woke up undefeated.
That's a good way to put that. I hadn't thought about that. Man,
That's
the
awesome.
Falcons only have 1 win?
Yeah.
Yikes.
I think 1, maybe 2.
Maybe 2.
They're not doing good.
Jeez. Well,
and what's crazy is Matt Ryan's like the second highest.
Yeah.
He's the leader. He's the second in passing yards right now to Patrick Mahomes.
Yep. One big move that happened last week that definitely showed up this week was Jalen Ramsey going to the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
And he showed up. Got an interception in his first game.
Yeah.
Pick 6, or was it just an interception? I think it was
just an interception.
And then who else did you say was dealt today?
Quandre Diggs,
that's right.
Safety for the Lions was dealt to the Seahawks.
Yep.
I really like that, honestly, because Diggs is a solid veteran, and I mean, that kind of replaces the whole Earl Thomas thing.
Right.
At least puts a Band-Aid on it, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And his former teammate, Darius Slay, was a little emotional about it and said, no matter how much you put in, at the end of the day, it's just a business. And so that's just how I took at it. Nobody's safe, in my opinion, implying that no Detroit Lion is safe.
I mean, no football player is safe unless your name's like Tom Brady or something.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's the end of the day.
Yeah. I don't think Diggs was expecting that trade, but hopefully it works out for him. Hopefully it works out for the Lions. We'll see. Yeah.
Have you seen what Adam Schefter's been saying about, I think
Brady?
it's Adam Schefter about Brady? Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll be our last topic on Hot Topics for the NFL. Yeah, I sent it. I have a bunch of Patriots fans, buddies. I'm not a Patriots fan, but they are big time.
Like, does he know something?
I don't understand where it's coming from, or it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it just seems like he's just throwing it out there for like clickbait or something,
Yeah, but that's not something Schefter does.
No.
So, There's something weird there. What we're saying is Adam Schefter has come out and said that Brady may retire next year or play for somebody else. It doesn't sound like he's leaving much room for him to play in New England, which is odd.
I mean, he's taking pay cuts every year just to stay there.
Yeah, that's true.
That doesn't make any sense. He'll probably retire, if anything. If the drive's still there, we could see a Brett Favre type situation where he comes back after training camp type stuff,
I could maybe see that.
Oh, yeah.
But
and in for the Titans, number 12, Tom Brady.
Oh,
I could see
weird. That would be weird.
That would be hilarious. He would have trouble with our offensive line. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
He'd probably be wearing 2 knee braces after that season.
All right. So, with that, let's do some quick Week 8 picks.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Starting off with, I guess, tonight's game, Washington and Minnesota.
You know who I'm picking.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Redskins could do something. It's the NFL, but
TJ agrees.
I have definite doubts.
Yeah. Next game up, you got the Bills and the Bucks.
The Titans and the Bucks.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
TJ typo that one?
No, I just misread.
Oh.
Sorry. The Eagles and the Bills.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Eagles and the Bills.
So, Eagles and Bills. He picked the Eagles, of course.
I think I'm going with the Bills. I like the Bills' defense, and I like Josh Allen.
Yeah, same here, and the Eagles are just too unstable for me to pick them over the Bills right now.
Oh, yeah. And that offensive line is kind of like when Peters went down. If he's back, I give a slighter edge to the Eagles, but I'm thinking the Bills pull this off.
Yeah.
Maybe by a short margin, but I think they do it.
Yep. Bucks or Titans?
Oh, this one's hard.
TJ picked the Bucks. I am going to also pick the Bucks. I have thought about this one. I might actually be at this game.
I think I'm going to go with the Titans just to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
But I would like to say that I am hesitant on this pick because the Titans always blow it after they win a big game.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
But it's usually when they have a blowout. Like, if they blow the other team out, then they'll have a crappy game the next game. But we'll see how it is when they win one close and then have to play this next week.
We'll see, man.
Oh, yeah.
The Seahawks and the Falcons. Well, I know what all of us are picking for that one.
Yep.
Seahawks. Move on.
I really think Russell Wilson's having an MVP year.
Yeah, I do too. And unfortunately, Matt Ryan is not.
He's putting up numbers.
He's putting up numbers, but not enough. Chargers and Bears. Ooh.
This one's hard. I'd like to say the Chargers bounce back because the Bears haven't looked very well.
I'm going to say the Bears for the opposite reason. TJ says the Chargers as well. I think the Bears look better than the Chargers right now. The Chargers didn't look good against the Titans.
No. The Titans, I mean, Jeffrey Simmons was looking great in that game. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I forgot to mention. That kid that's a man. That's a man-child. But, yeah, I think the Chargers bounce back. I think they get it going.
All right, so Lions and Giants.
I got to go with the Lions on this one.
TJ also picked the Lions.
I like their defense. They did just get rid of their safety, though.
I'm going to play devil's advocate and say that Daniel Jones shows up again.
And Saquon's in his second game back, so he should be doing a lot better.
I think the Giants could pull that one off. Colts or Broncos, battle the horses.
Woo, Colts, baby. Going
yeah. I don't
Brisket.
see how you could pick the Broncos right now.
Couldn't do it. I'd like to, throw a,
There's just no, you can't.
I can't make myself pick the Broncos in this one.
Yeah, and TJ also picks the Colts. Rams and Bengals, same thing, Rams.
Yeah, I got to go with the Rams just because they got more weapons and they've been more consistent this year. That's all there is to that one. I don't think the Bengals will win until probably week 10 or something.
Yeah.
This one might get interesting.
This one could be interesting. Jags and Jets. I gotta go with the Jags. The Jets are just a mess.
I like Minshew. I've been riding him. I'll take Minshew on this one.
Yeah.
Going Jags.
Yeah, and TJ as well. So we got a couple unanimous ones here. All right. 49ers and Panthers.
Ooh.
TJ picks 49ers. I pick the 49ers. And you?
I I'm not that impressed with the 49ers, but I think the Panthers give them their first loss.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I like Kyle Allen. I like Kyle Allen.
He's doing a good job.
I don't think Garoppolo's been nearly as consistent as he should be.
No,
given how well his defense has played.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but I'm still picking the 49ers.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I just got to throw some upsets in there.
Oh, speaking
way.
of upset picks, TJ picking the Cleveland Browns over the Patriots.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Yo.
Because I saw something earlier where somebody said, I think it was OBJ said that they wanted to be the first team. They wanted to give him that L, like this weekend.
So
like
he basically just did what Schilt did and what Peterson did.
Yep.
Yeah.
What Zach Brown did.
OBJ, recommendation from me to you, man. Just stop talking.
Yeah. Just go ahead and shut up.
Yeah. Texans and Raiders.
I like the Texans. Well, that last game they weren't impressive, and the Raiders did kind of get it going there at the end. So I'm going to say the Texans bounce back. I'm going to have a little faith in them.
This is a coin flip for me. TJ also says the Texans just for a little bit of difference here. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
All right.
It's a coin flip for me.
Did we go over the Cardinals Saints?
Cardinals Saints. We did not.
That's
Saints.
Another 12 o'clock game. Sorry.
You're good.
Definitely, I want to go with the Saints because Drew Brees did say he'd be back for this game. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with the Saints, even though I like what the Cardinals have been doing lately.
Yeah, they've been looking better.
A lot better.
Blanking out on the quarterback's name.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, thank you.
Finally looking a little more consistent.
A little better. I still would have picked baseball.
Yeah, you're never going to let that one go.
No, I'm not. Packers and Chiefs.
See, this one would have been interesting had Mahomes not dislocated his knee a week ago.
Yeah. Who's in place of him?
Matt Moore.
Matt Moore.
Good old Matt Moore.
Night.
Old Dusty. They had to bust the coffin open. It was like in case of in case of Mahomes' injury, break glass, and it's like all dusty, and they break it out.
Unless Matt Moore pulls out one of his freak games, throwing for a ton of yards, I don't see him keeping up with Aaron Rodgers.
No. Not this Aaron Rodgers. We're seeing a well-oiled Packers machine right now.
Oh, this is great. Okay, so we're finally getting to our Monday night game.
Oh, what a stinker, dude.
Well, so yeah. Well, what was the phrase y'all used last week?
A dumpster fire?
No.
Oh, the Tank Bowl?
The Tank Bowl. Tank Bowl Part 2.
2.0.
2.0. Miami 0-6 at Pittsburgh 2-4.
I think Pittsburgh should just lose this one.
Oh.
And then try to get a quarterback.
Oh, man. I think Pittsburgh wins this one.
I think they do. Because Mason Rudolph is back. So
I do like TJ's pick on this one. Steelers over the Steelers. I know what he meant. He was picking the Steelers. I feel you.
Okay, TJ.
I just looked there. I was like, wait, what am I? It messed me up.
He has at least one typo every time.
Hey, I do too, man.
I love him to death. I give him hell.
Part of it, we can't be perfect. We're not trying to be perfect.
I'm pretty perfect, man. Nah, not really.
A little bit.
I can talk. That's about it.
Yeah, the beard's strong.
Yeah, that's
got the
true.
beard.
I get compliments on the beard.
There you go.
That's. I'll take that to the grave.
All right. To complement some NFL talk, we're going to hop over to some college football.
All right.
Time to discuss a little bit about Week 8. We'll talk about 2 top games, and then we'll talk about upsets, close calls, and what games to watch for Week 9. And then we're going to hit our Champs versus Chumps.
Some hell of a games for Week 9.
Why don't you hit me with those first 2 games for Week 8?
All right. Week 8, we had number 6 Wisconsin falling short to Illinois. Not even ranked Illinois. Wisconsin now falls to number 13. I think they should have fell a little bit further, but it was a close game, 23-24. They gave it a good effort, but I mean, Jack Cohn, the quarterback for Wisconsin, 24-32, 264, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 3 rushes for negative 10 yards. Not too hot. Their running back, Jonathan Taylor, 28 carries, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. That's pretty solid. James McCourt kicks a 39-yard field goal as time expires, and Illinois comes through with the upset.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Killer.
I couldn't believe that.
You know those boys were partying that night, man.
Right.
You know that. Moving on to their second game of the week, we had number 19 SMU cruises past Temple, 45-21. They're now number 16
Yeah.
in the national rankings. SMU Shane Buechele, quarterback, went 30 for 53, 457 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's his career high. Only 1 interception. Wide receiver SMU Reggie Roberson Jr., 8 receptions, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a 60-yard touchdown, a 75-yard touchdown, and a 33-yard touchdown. This man was going deep. He said, hit me long. I'm just going deep. Just throw it up there. You know? SMU remains undefeated and goes 7-0 for the first time since 1982.
Yeah, crazy, man.
And just the 5th time ever.
Yep.
It is a rise for them this season and the up-and-coming years. One remaining team to be undefeated in the American Athletic Conference. Let's see, 5 games remaining, of 3 of which are decent teams. They got to face Memphis, who is 6-1, Navy, who is surprisingly 5-1, and Tulane at 5-2. So all these guys got winning records, and it could get ugly for them at the end of the season. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, hey, take the momentum while you got it. You got half the season under your belt.
7-0, man.
That's
just
crazy.
Ride that on into the sunset, man. Like, they're definitely going to get a bowl game out of this season.
Oh,
at
yeah,
least.
definitely. So upsets and close calls. Of course, Illinois beat Wisconsin, like we just mentioned. Vanderbilt wins 21-14 over number 22, now unranked Missouri. Took them out of the rankings. Good job, Vandy.
I love that. That's some SEC stuff for you.
Yeah.
Just always coming at each other's throats.
Hey,
man.
don't forget about what the work South Carolina's been putting in.
Oh,
they didn't
yeah.
beat Florida,
No.
but they did beat Georgia.
They did.
I couldn't believe that. I watched a lot of that game, too. BYU gets the win over number 14 at the time, Boise State, now number 22.
BYU. They've upset some people this year.
Yeah.
That's
They're
their
not a
second
bad
one
team.
that I know of.
They're usually a pretty solid team. They just don't have that next level push.
Not going to see them in that college playoffs anytime soon.
Number 7, Penn State drops down to number 6, or not drops down, moves up to number 6. They had just squeaked by number 16, now number 19, Michigan, 28-21. Man,
Michigan dropping them, man.
ooh, Harbaugh, dude. Jeez.
He says he's not coming to the NFL either. He says he wants to stay.
Yeah, and he even sent letters to the parents of the players. I mean, he's trying to show how committed he is to Michigan. But my question is, in time, how committed will Michigan be to him?
Yeah, he probably got some phone calls after the Cowboys lost to the Jets.
Yeah, well, Jerry Jones ain't going to let Golden Boy Jason Garrett go anytime soon.
Got to have the clapper.
Number 15, Texas, had a close call against Kansas, 50-48.
Kansas has had a solid team in the past years.
Yep. Texas won on a 33-yard field goal as time expired. You
Not
had
bad.
number 12, now number 11, Oregon, over number 25, now unranked Washington, 35-31. That was a pretty good game. I watched a good bit of that one.
I picked Oregon, so
Yeah.
I think TJ picked Michigan and Washington, so he was hurting on these picks.
Yikes. Then you have Iowa kept alive by rushing. Then you had Iowa stay alive with a rushing touchdown scored 2 minutes before the end to keep them in and win against Purdue. Iowa moves up from number 23 to 20. They win 26-20.
Not bad.
So yeah,
I think I picked Purdue on that because I was sour on them after they lost the last game.
yeah. So time to talk about what games to watch in the NCAA next week. You got 6-1, number 13 Wisconsin trying to avenge that loss against number 3, 7-0 Ohio State.
Good luck. That's all I gotta say on that one.
I'm unfortunately going to say Ohio State wins this game.
I like Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna do some damage here in the next couple weeks.
You have number 9 Auburn, 6-1, just like Wisconsin. This is like a mirror game. I can't wait to post this poll and see what we get on this.
This one's gonna be great.
Number 9 Auburn, 6-1 against 7-0, number 2 LSU.
Ooh,
We know who TJ's picking.
I think I got to ride with LSU too. I mean,
I think this is Bo Nix's coming out party.
You think so?
I think this is.
Man, he just had a bummer of a game that one.
Yeah,
they lost.
That's true.
And that was probably why they lost, because he had such an unsuccessful game. I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
If Bo Nix doesn't throw up 300 yards, they lose this game. I'm saying it now.
Yeah. So, I just to keep it interesting, I'm going to say Bo Nix bounces back in this game.
All right.
LSU's playing hot though.
I did pick.
There's a reason why they're number 2.
I like Bo Nix as a Heisman candidate, but I'm still leaning towards Jalen Hurts, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like that kid. He's smart.
He is. That's a good
Very
point.
smart.
All right. Number 8, 5-1, Notre Dame at 5-2, number 19, Michigan.
Michigan is on this every week.
Yeah, no lie. You're not wrong.
They're playing some interesting games though.
Yeah, they're not winning.
They got
them
a
all.
tough schedule, man.
They do. They normally do. I'm going to actually go with Notre Dame on this one.
Yeah, I like Notre Dame. I think Michigan's going to be probably dropping out of their rankings after this one.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I almost kept this week's games to watch down to 3 games. The top game I could really find out of all this was 7-0, number 6 Penn State, defending that undefeated record against Michigan State, who's 4-3.
I think they've dropped the last 2, Michigan State.
Yeah. But not to say that Michigan State's a bad team.
No.
They're just I think they're having a down year.
Yeah, I like Penn State in this one, obviously. Penn State's just rolling right now.
Yep. Well, that about does it for all of football talk for this week. Thank you for tuning into that, and we are going to take a quick break, and we'll come back, and it's time for some champs versus chumps.
I'm Ty Yeager, and I want to introduce you to the Rise Up podcast community, a community for podcasters created by podcasters, dedicated to the promotion and growth of podcasts everywhere. Rise Up is not a network. There are no contracts and no control over your content. Just a vessel for you to spread the word of your work and connect with fellow podcasters to collaborate, create, and promote. And guess what? It doesn't cost you a single cent to join the community. Join the Rise Up podcast community today by visiting our website at bit.ly/riseuppodcommunity and follow the community on Twitter at RUPodCommunity. Again, that's bit.ly/riseuppodcommunity and at RUPodCommunity on Twitter. Come and join the community of podcasts and rise up with us. Rise Up Podcast Community.
All right. I gotta stop saying that at the beginning of the segment.
All right.
Okay. Time for some champs versus chumps. Let's see.
What you got for us, man?
I guess I'll start off with a champ.
Yeah, you're the first one on the list. Let's do it.
Clay Matthews, despite the fine, he called out the refs. But hey, he's not lying. These refs have been particularly bad this year in the NFL. I applaud him for speaking up. I mean, I think more players should. I don't think they should be fined for that either. I think that's ridiculous.
Did Brady get a fine for tweeting about the refs in that one game? No. So why should Clay Matthews get a fine?
Ridiculous.
It doesn't matter. There's like double standards or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and give my second champ, and it leads into my first chump, and then we'll move on from there. My second champ is actually Dabo Swinney of Clemson, head coach. Big time champ for the week, as you might know and find out by my next chump. I absolutely lose my mind when players throw punches, especially if a player that they're throwing the punch at is wearing a helmet. So dumb. You're risking the health of your hand to throw a punch at a helmet.
Yeah.
Dabo Swinney sent Andrew Booth Jr. back home 450 miles on the manager's bus while the rest of the team flew back as punishment for throwing a punch in the game, and I believe he got ejected as well. So, that being said, my first chump of the week is every single football player, including Devontae Freeman of the Atlanta Falcons, among many college football players this week, who threw punches in games. Really, what's wrong with you? if I were the coach, you'd be benched until you get it, until I think you get it.
Yeah.
Or maybe even suspended, or, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'll let you punch a helmet all practice long until your hand breaks so you can learn your lesson. Because, dude,
Come on.
don't do that. That's so dumb.
I've had it done to me when I was playing football, and it always happens from somebody that gets so frustrated because they can't beat you.
Yeah.
And they just get mad because they can't do their job, and they're looking bad. The coach is yelling at them. Their parents are watching. Yeah. They're all upset, and then I know every time when the punch was coming. Yeah. They start getting all worked up, and you're just like, okay.
Yep. Why don't you give us TJ's first chump?
All right, TJ. First chump. Oh, I'm on champs. Sorry. Nelson Aguilar for showing no urgency or care to attempt to catch wide open passes, then turns around and blames Wentz. It's not looking good over there in Philly.
Yeah.
Don't look like they like Wentz half as much as they like Nick Foles.
Kind of seems like the ship is kind of turning on itself there.
Yeah, Wentz could be on his way out the door. Or
I doubt
getting
that.
some new wide receivers very soon.
I think Peterson goes before Wentz.
Yeah, I could see that. They're going to have to get this locker room together, though, because obviously a few losses in a row really hurts their pride.
Yep.
And they start pointing fingers, and that's not what you want in your squad at all.
Nope. And then TJ's first champ of the week, Shaq, for donating a home to a family of a 12-year-old boy who was paralyzed after a shooting. I said it in a tweet a few days ago. I used to not care so much for Shaq back in the day, but man, he's really grown on me, especially in these last years since he retired, and he is a great guy.
Oh yeah, he definitely is more of an activist than we've seen from a lot of other star players.
But he's a quiet one.
Yeah,
he's not like jumping out and being super.
Those are the ones you love, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Work Done. Everybody loved Work Done for all the work he did outside of the NFL of supplying homes to abused mothers.
Yeah, and it's not like he's acting like these people that want like internet fame that are like videotaping themselves giving money to a bum or something, or a homeless person rather. Sorry.
Right.
But you don't have. You do it for you. You do it for them. You don't do it to gain anything from it.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Shaq, just kind of quietly doing stuff like this.
Yeah. Why don't you hit us with TJ's other champ?
Other champ, we got Dylan Dennis pays for a bullied kid to take jiu-jitsu lessons. He is now in the talks of starting an organization where kids which are bullied will be able to train in any martial arts of their choice. Never liked Dennis, but this is amazing. Hey, I dig it.
You gotta call a spade a spade.
Yeah, man, that's killer. I wish I could have had something like this when I was growing up.
Yeah, yeah, same here. It's key for kids to have that. You see all these issues going on with bullying, especially, and I think it's great that he's doing that. That's a good move by him for sure.
Oh yeah, instead of teaching your kids how to use weapons, like turn them into a weapon.
Yeah.
Let
them stand up for themselves.
The confidence goes way up when you know how to defend yourself.
Right. And TJ had another champ, Chris Long, for backing up his former quarterback, saying Wentz ain't the problem. People fail to realize his stats are just as good as before, even with all the drop passes, wide receiver open drops particularly. I'd have to agree with that. Definitely good job by Chris Long for standing up for him.
Oh, yeah.
Because I agree. I don't think Wentz is the problem at all.
I don't think the wide receivers like Wentz is what it's coming off as to me, honestly. As we see in TJ's other chump, is an anonymous player trying to throw shade at Carson Wentz. Come to find out, this said player was Alshon Jeffrey. So not only Nelson Aguilar throwing him under the bus, but now Alshon's trying to do it anonymously.
Yep.
He's like, TJ goes on to say, I understand y'all miss Foles, but where is he now? Hurt like he did with us when he was our starter. Yep.
Yeah, not good.
No. I don't like the whole trying to say Foles is hurt. Like, it's... I think if y'all had Foles, you wouldn't have all these problems, honestly.
Yeah.
Because obviously the wide receivers liked Foles better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty clear as of late, and that's a shame.
It's a shame because Wentz is a hell of a competitor, a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah. Real quick, might want to mention, don't forget, and we will be talking about this soon, the NBA season has started.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be getting to that soon. Not today, but we'll get to it. So speaking of which, why don't you give us one of your champs?
Oh, yeah. Kyrie for setting a record for points scored in first game with a new team.
Yeah.
He was going off, man. Let me look and find this game. They ended up losing ultimately, but it was just a great showing for Kyrie.
Kyrie can ball, man. He's a great player.
He is a hell of a player. I mean, the dude puts up... Oh, man. Hold on. I'm still looking at Boston stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. It was actually it went into overtime this game with the Timberwolves. He ended up only losing by 1 point. It was 127-126. And Kyrie ends up putting up 50 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds. He was 7 of 14 from the three-point line, 50%. Very good, because most people are only shooting about 30, you know?
Yeah.
But for your first game with a new team, that's insane. That just goes to show you, like, he's starting to become that leader that he wanted to be when he was in Boston. But we'll see how long it lasts, because if anybody remembers, like, Kyrie getting hurt last year, or getting hurt the first year of his contract, having to sit out for the playoffs. They go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then the second year when Kyrie comes back, it's like there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders in Boston, and he just seemed to kind of crumble under it. It was kind of sad to watch because I really love Kyrie, and when he's on, he's almost unstoppable. He's pretty much the reason LeBron had that other ring, his last ring.
Right.
And I mean, just not living up to it. I mean, the Boston Celtics only ended up making it to the second round where they were ousted by the 76ers.
Right.
So,
by the way, I do have another chump.
Oh, yeah?
I'm glad you said his name. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Communism is not a good idea. End of story.
Yeah, not trying to hear any of that. None of it.
Yeah. Anyways, why don't you give us your last chump and then your last chant?
And by the way, quit stirring things up with China, man. Like,
yeah, LeBron.
They outnumber us.
Just like I told OBJ, just talk less, man. I'm not part of the shut up and dribble crowd, but dude, just stop trying
please.
So hard to make yourself so powerful.
Yeah, you're already a global superstar. Just leave it.
Yeah,
Just
well,
chill.
and he made himself look really bad.
Yeah, you did. But my last chump would be, we've already mentioned it in the UFC segment, but Greg Hardy for not knowing he wasn't allowed to use an inhaler between rounds. Come on, man. Between the second and the third round, he used an inhaler, and it was spotted on the camera, I guess, and later ended up turning his unanimous decision win into a no contest.
My thing is, how does an official not notice that during the fight? Like, why did you have to rely on a camera to see
I
that?
don't know. There are
understand
like
that.
4 or 5 trainers that stand around him.
Yeah, they should have
in the
caught
corner.
that right then and there.
Yeah.
That should have been nipped in the bud
And
at
for
that
him
moment.
to say that he didn't know or play dumb or whatever, or say he asked if he could use it, and I mean, you gotta know. You can't do that. When have you ever seen a fighter use an inhaler ringside?
Yeah.
Like, never.
Oh, in his case, you ought to know that
Might as
domestic
well.
violence isn't a good idea either, but
Yeah.
he did it anyway.
I mean, you might as well pop a couple steroids on the side and just go into the round like, yep, I'm good.
Maybe Nate Diaz is right.
Yeah, probably.
Probably not.
I got one more champ, though.
Yeah. Who's that?
I put the Patriots defense for being so dominant. If their offense never took the field not one time this season, they'd still be 3-3-1.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Oh, man.
These guys have so many turnovers, so many points from their defense. Like, it's just... I can't say enough about how good this Patriots defense is. It's really carrying the lack of offense they've had.
Yeah, I agree. So that's it for our champs versus chumps, and now it's time for your champs versus chumps. We will start with our Facebook sent in from Ann. Champs were the review officials in the Titans-Chargers game.
Ooh, we have a Chargers fan.
And she, I don't think so.
No, I'm just kidding.
She said it was more close calls in one game than I've seen in a while.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to agree with that.
I will agree.
And then let's see. Kyle from the fight community gives the champs Yair Rodriguez and the chump to Chris Weidman.
Yeah, saw that one coming.
Yeah.
TJ didn't though. I can't believe he picked Weidman. I don't know, but whatever, man. Moving on, the next we got from Michael from the fight community. Champ goes to Joe Lazon for being a 2-1 underdog and said, "Hold my beer," and got it done in the first round. He's quoted, "That can't be overlooked."
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. The dude was a monster.
And thanks to you, it's not. We're looking right at it.
Yes, sir.
We got another Facebook sent-in submission. Darren out of Nashville, Chumps Yankees fans, and champs Jose Altuve and the Houston Astros for putting the Yankees in their place.
Ouch. How's that feel, TJ?
Yikes. I can testify this man is a Braves fan. So
oh, yeah.
He's a little dusty right now.
A little salty.
Yeah. So, what else do we get from the fight community? I think we got, 2 more?
Yep. We got Max. He gives a double champ 1-2 Bochniak for constantly fighting monsters and coming out on top. Well, sometimes. Second to Lazon, as well, for giving out that big brother beat down. The dude's just there's a lot of love for Lazon in this week, and I gotta say it was definitely a hell of a fight. Our last one, final one, Ross from the fight community. Champ goes to Charles Rosa for the armbar win over Manny Bermudez. Again, that was a very good fight. Yes. I mean, it was very fast. Very fast-paced, a lot of action in that one. Chump again goes to Chris Weidman. And
man, he got doubled up on this week.
I mean, he kind of asked for it. Honestly, with the goggles and all that and all the controversy after the first fight. So he got what was coming to him. It happened.
Well, that's it for all champs versus chumps.
No, that was Stevens with the goggles. Sorry. My bad.
You're good.
Before we have to do a correction next week.
No, yeah.
That wasn't Weidman. Weidman got knocked out. That was even better.
Yep. Well, okay. As I was saying, sorry. All good. No, all good. I jumped ahead. That is it for all of our champs versus chumps. We appreciate all the participation from all of you from the fight community, from Facebook as well.
Love it.
Be sure to look us up on Twitter at No Timeouts Left 1, also on Instagram at No Timeouts Left 1. We are also on Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and SoundCloud. Be sure to hit us up, give us a follow. Subscribe, rate, and review. Give us some love. We'd appreciate it. It's been a little while.
Yeah. We haven't seen a lot of reviews. It's looking a little,
come on, guys.
Looking a little dead and dry.
Give us a little love.
We need it. I'm on my knees.
Anyway, so look us up. No Timeouts Left. You can find us on any of those platforms. You can find me at Coach Klein90 on Twitter. Where can they find you?
On Twitter and Instagram, it'll be Mike Phillups. MICFILLUPS. Holla.
You can find TJ, Statman Franz, at TJ Franz.
TJ Franz.
615.
615.
Yeah, I remember.
There might be Taylor. I don't know. You'll find him.
Yeah, it's there. Maybe T Franz.
Just the weirdest one. The weirdest looking dude.
Just go to our Twitter. We're all there.
Yeah, you got it.
But anyways, we appreciate you guys. That's all we have for No Timeouts Left, episode 30, and we'll catch you next week.
Take it easy.